Hi, my name is Scotty Schwartz-Owen, and today I'm going to walk you through one of the most powerful AI tools I've been using to support both my self-learning and academic journey into full-stack web development, Claude AI, created by Anthropic. Here is the interface, and Claude is a large language model assistant, meaning it's an AI you can have a genuine conversation with. You can ask it to explain code, help you debug, write documentation, brainstorm ideas, or even teach you a concept from scratch. So this is the interface. This up here is incognito mode if you do not want it to remember your conversations. And Claude's design is guided by what Anthropic calls constitutional AI, which is a framework that trains the model to be helpful while avoiding harmful outputs. And let me highlight the key features. Claude excels at long context understanding. Unlike basic chatbots, Claude can read and reason across very long documents, entire code bases, research papers, or lengthy project specs, and give you coherent, useful answers. And it maintains context throughout a conversation, so it remembers what we discussed 10 minutes ago, 10 messages ago. Claude is multimodal, which means it can read text, analyze uploaded files, and work with structured data. And finally, Claude has web search capabilities in its current version, meaning it can pull in real-time information when needed, rather than relying solely on its training data. Let me briefly explain the technology powering Claude, because understanding this is part of understanding the tool. Claude is a transformer-based large language model, LLM for short. Transformers are a neural network architecture that process entire sequences of text simultaneously using a mechanism called self-attention, which allows the model to understand how every word in a sentence relates to every other word. Claude was trained using reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF, meaning human reviewers rated model responses, and those ratings were used to fine-tune the model towards outputs that are helpful, accurate, and safe. On top of that, Anthropic added their constitutional AI, where the model is also trained against a set of guiding principles, reducing the need for constant human review. This is what gives Claude its notable, thoughtful, nuanced tone compared to other AI tools. And my professional goal after graduation is to launch my career as a full stack web developer, or junior at first. And Claude has become something like a senior developer who's always available when I'm stuck. I've used Claude to review my project code before pushing to GitHub and to generate basic boilerplate for React components like buttons. In a practical experiment I ran for this presentation, I asked Claude to help me build some slider animations between projects. And this is my current web portfolio. And let's go into this site, and you can see I have these projects here, which I can scroll back and forth across. Claude explained every design decision, which helped me to actually learn the pattern, not just copy it. Like any tool, Claude has real strengths and real limitations. And as a responsible user, I think it's important to be honest about both. Claude dramatically accelerates learning. It's available 24/7, endlessly patient, and adapts to my level. But Claude, like other AI agents, has limitations. It can confidently produce incorrect information, a phenomenon called hallucination. That's why I treat Claude's output as a starting point, not a final answer. I always verify with documentation or test the code myself. Ethically, I think about a few key things. First, academic integrity. I use Claude to learn and scaffold my thinking, not to copy paste answers I don't understand. Second, data privacy. I'm careful to never paste in sensitive information or even like environment variables. Third, over-reliance. I'm deliberate about still struggling with problems myself before asking Claude, because the struggle is where the real learning happens. Professionally, Claude supports me as a thinking partner and tutor. When I'm learning a new concept, I have a back and forth conversation with Claude until I can explain it back in my own words. That Socratic method of learning is something that Claude enables in a way a textbook simply can't. Here are published reviews from developers on platforms like dev.to and Hacker News, who consistently highlight Claude's strong performance on reasoning and code quality tasks. and Anthropic's published research on constitutional AI demonstrates a genuine commitment to responsible development that aligns with how I want to engage with AI tools professionally. So Claude isn't a shortcut, it's a force multiplier. It helps me learn faster, build better, and think more clearly. And as I work toward my first role as a full stack web developer, it's become one of the most valuable tools in my kit. Thank you.